So of course we all know Nintendo has a history of taking down mods randomly for no reason. But of course, as people always say, it's only Nintendo that does this. All other studios respect the modding community, respect the fan bases, but it seems that creator of Bloodborne says that Sony sent him a patch. So basically there was this patch to make Bloodborne 60 FPS, and Sony just took it down. Sony said you can, send him the DMCA takedown as well. But the well-known video game takeover Lance McDonald announced the news in a tweet that they got received a takedown notice by Sony as well. They posted 200 YouTube videos of Bloodborne 60 FPS patch released in 2021 that Sony essentially said you cannot have this mod out. But when are we going to stop blaming Nintendo? Where this is a thing that happens across all companies. Sony, Microsoft, Valve, okay? You know, yes, it is upsetting. They go after leaks, they go after modders, they go after, fan games. Okay, but it's not just Nintendo that does this. I wish these guys would realize, as Nintendo haters would realize, that's not just Nintendo that does this type of stuff. Sony is doing, we have literal evidence over the past month of Rockstar doing it to a GTA 6 or GTA 5 fan game, and now with the Bloodborne 60 FPS patch. Okay, it's not just Nintendo that does this type of stuff. Okay, we have Activision Blizzard doing it. Wait, does Activision own Rockstar? Okay, Take Two Interactive. Sorry, wrong company. Take Two Interactive, and now From Software, which I know some people say, Bloodborne is technically a Sony IP. Okay, but it is pretty funny that it's only Nintendo. That we're only gonna that though it's it always goes one way. It's always towards Nintendo. And yes, when Nintendo does it, Nintendo should be criticized 100%. But when it comes to every other studio, it is swept under the rug by people. Okay, it's swept under the rug by the same people. It's like they'll ignore it and go through the double standards they give Nintendo, but not Take Two Interactive, not Sony and Bloodborne. And I actually think Sony actually owns Bloodborne, which is why they said Sony is the one taking it down, not From Software. From Software actually was the one that developed it, but Sony actually owns the game. It's very, very strange. It makes no sense, but, that's why we haven't seen it on other platforms. You'd think that, I was like, well, From Software want to make more money, they would put it on Xbox eventually as well, and at PC and even Nintendo Switch, but, it is what it is. I think eventually it will come to Xbox and Switch. If Xbox is doing it to PlayStation, putting it against the PlayStation, it wouldn't be too so long when Sony starts putting The Last of Us and Spider-Man 2 and Bloodborne on Xbox. I think that's getting an inevitable trend, and only Nintendo will have console exclusives, and also PC because you have tons of PC exclusive only games as well. But even those types of games are ending too, so exclusivity overall is ending. But it seems that, we're entering a dark age of gaming 100%. Well, if you make a mod or fan-made game, you'll be taken down. You won't be allowed, or heck, if a game is too similar to another game, you might get sued by the company, like with Power World and Nintendo. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's not just Nintendo, obviously, as well, because you have other developers too, like, oh, your game is too similar to GTA. You're being sued by Rockstar now. And it really stifles creativity in the gaming industry because the 60 FPS patch, Power World, and of course, the GTA 5 Liberty City mod are all made out of love for by the fans. Okay, Sega, of course, won this the easy way and let fans make their own Sonic game. And guess what? It was the highest rated Sonic game of all time. But all these other developers, not just Nintendo, obviously, Sony, and of course Take Two Interactive. I think we talked about that as well. Taking down mods because it's too similar to GTA 6, so you gotta take down the mod for GTA 5. Okay, like it's just ridiculous at this point what Sony is doing and Take Two Interactive. But the fact that no one is talking about this is even more concerning. Okay, besides like a few people on X, formerly known as Twitter, a few people did talk about it on there. But other than that, no one has talked about this whole Bloodborne controversy, which is pretty concerning, all things considered, because the fact that this is something that is being swept under the rug. I'm gonna continue to talk about this stuff because it points out the hypocrisy for us Nintendo haters. That's only Nintendo, and Nintendo's just an evil company that hates the fans. Where it's Sony and all of the gaming industry that does this type of behavior. Goodbye.